A very good evening this time around for all the viewers at Cadre.org and all the people at home. We're back with another interview. This time it's Snute, the man who's been upsetting people since he arrived at the event, let's be honest. You were in Group A, you did absolutely fantastic. We'll get to that, but first a little bit of a follow-up on the interview that we did last Home Story Cup. Back then you were in the Ministry of Winhouse and you were feeling okay, but it was like a little bit of your health, a little bit of your stamina and your presence of mind, what you were still figuring out. Have you found this balance in practicing games and the health that you really needed to thrive?
After I went to Korea after the WCS Nordic Finals, I think it really helped me find a better balance. So I have a way more healthy mindset when it comes to playing the game now. And as for the health, it's something I'm still working on. I've been eating a little bit more healthy, but for next year I really have to be serious about it because every time I travel I get a little bit sick and it affects me. And even now I feel a slight headache. So next year I will just, I lose so many days of efficient practice just because I'm not feeling that well, so I can't put in a lot of hours. I think 12 hours a day, 11 is a bit tough, but I managed to find a balance with a little bit less. But in order to get there, I really need to start working out for next year and don't miss it. There have been good periods where I've been taking care of myself, working out, being healthy, and there have been bad periods as well where I've been slacking off. So next year I just need to be really on the ball when it comes to waking up at proper times and being healthy, because when you get to this level, it's really important.
So back then, you said you hit the phenomenal amount of games, which was like 40, 50 a day. Was that a good number? Are you still on that number, or what are you at right now?
It varies a bit. It's definitely a bit less, but that's more because of my health has been a little bit down compared to what I want it to be. There have still been days where I've been practicing like 40 games at least. But on average, I'm not practicing as much as I used to in the Ministry of Win, and I do miss it a bit, but I need to get my condition up before I can reach that again, without being exhausted.
So, like we said, you went from the Ministry of Win and you actually lived in Korea for a month, if I'm correct? Yeah. What was that like? Because I think it was the first time in Korea for you.
No, I've been to Korea before. Like, I travel with a friend, like he's going for vacation, and I'm going there to either, chill out a bit, but also practice a lot. So we went there last year as well, but then I played Brood War like a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, I guess, right before StarCraft 2 was released. So I've been in Korea a couple of times, and I definitely want to go back again soon to practice, because it's just being there with a different culture, different food, just sets you in such a good mood, and you're just so pumped for practice when you're there.
So and where do you practice now that you've returned from Korea? Does your team have a team house where you practice in Norway, or is it back at your parents' house, your own apartment? What's that like?
No, I'm currently staying in Sweden, where I'm sharing an apartment with my girlfriend. So I'm practicing from there, and it's working out great.
Yeah, we saw that because back in our interview, we actually talked about what was your biggest goal that you could come up with back then, and it was a top 16 in IPL. And actually, like not even surprisingly enough, because you have been showing great performances, you actually made it, being the drawn best foreigner out there. That was such a massive goal. First of all, how did you experience reaching this goal for 2012? And then secondly, where do we go from there?
I was really happy about it. I wish I could have done even better and made it to the top 12 if I beat Bomber. But playing in the main stage, it's the first time I've been playing in a booth, those games against Bomber, and it was such a different experience for me. It felt like when I was playing, everything was just passing by so quickly. It felt like I couldn't keep up with time. But it was a good experience, and when I reached the goal, I actually forgot about last time that I said I wanted top 16, so it's a really good reminder for me that I actually accomplished one of my goals. So I'm really happy to hear that, first of all. And I think next year I want to do something which I haven't been able to do this year, which is to win a grand scale tournament.
Why? I wanted to save this question, but it's such a perfect time to ask it now. Why can't you do it here? Because you just smashed your group earlier today. It was silly, man. 4-0. That was absolutely insane. Tell us a little bit about how you did that.
Well, on the first day, I went through my group quite convincingly. Tarantius, my Protoss opponent, was quite nervous. even more nervous than me. So those games I won quite convincingly. And against Nama, I know his style, so I was just taking precautions and I held off his proxies, etc. So I just won by solid play. And today, um, against Mana, I think he was a bit nervous because we played a few games just for fun, just for practice the first day, and he only managed to take one game off of me. We played like 5 or 6 games together, so I think his confidence was a little bit shaky. It was also early in the morning for both of us, so that probably added to his confidence not being at the best. I wasn't feeling that great myself. I didn't have the best night of sleep, but after I won 2-0 against Mana, I just felt so much better. And when I was up against Symbol, he also didn't seem too confident either. So that gave me another extra boost to my confidence. I know that my CVC is good. Even if I lost to Vortex at the Thor Open, like I got smashed so hard 0-5, I still know that my CVC is better than that, and I think I could show it against Symbol. So I'm really happy I was able to finally show some good CVC after I didn't do so well against Vortex in the Thor Open.
Some people are actually comparing you to Stefano now. Is that a comparison that you think is justified, or are you maybe saying it's a little bit too hypey just yet?
I don't know, we are different. I don't want to be compared to Stefano since he doesn't practice, and it's all... Yeah, I just don't like that comparison. I don't know where you got it from, but I don't want to be compared to him. We are different. I practice, I put a lot of effort into this, and he is practicing in a different way than I am.
All right, I like that answer. That's really politically correct. Now, the next question is a little bit about Norway. It was something that we spoke about back then as well, how there wasn't really a lot of competition, and you agreed with that. But now we're in a little bit of a different situation because we're a few months later, and all of a sudden Targa pops up coming back from Australia, and he does really well at DreamHack Valencia. What is your relationship to him? Are you good mates in that respect, or is it just two separate players that don't really get in touch all too often?
We're not extremely close. We don't really practice together or share that many builds or stuff like that, but we're on good terms, and it's nice to see him playing full time, but we don't really talk to each other all that often. But we have some friendly trolling going back and forth sometimes, and yeah, I'm really glad he's playing full time.
Must make it a little bit harder for you to make it out of those easy Norwegian lands now that you've got some competition, or does that not work that way?
No, I've always performed really bad at Norwegian lands. I lost to my teammate Notissimus, both at the WCS Norway and also in another online competition. And I also lost to Eiki, another Protoss teammate of mine. So in Norway, people expect me to win, and I had a little bit of issues with it previously, that since everybody expected me to win, I would just start thinking bad things and be like, oh, what if I lose? And get nervous and stuff.
But is that translating now to the point where not only in Norway you're expected to win, but all of a sudden now you're beating people silly here? Is that adding a little bit of pressure, a little bit of anxiety in that way?
No, that's the thing. I don't really care anymore. So getting over that problem on a local scale has helped me a lot. Like now I see people start getting expectations and making hype around me, but I know that I just don't care anymore. I still feel like the underdog, and that's a comfortable. I don't know. I just feel comfortable. It's okay. People can think whatever they want and have expectations and hopes, and I'll just keep doing my own thing.
All right. Last question before I let you go. Well, actually, two more. Firstly, you're with a team called Gamers League. You have been for quite a while. It's the biggest team in Norway, as you've been saying. But I guess it's safe to assume, or safe to say, that you're kind of outgrowing them. Is that correct? Are you actively on the lookout for another team, or is it just see what comes your way?
It's more of a check. Obviously, I have ambitions for 2013, and I want a team that can help me with my ambitions. A team that can back me all the way with everything I want to do. So I'm just checking what's out there, and obviously I like GL. It's an amazing team. They've done so much for me. I can't even say, they've been supporting me from the very beginning. Even before I started playing full time, they've just been there for me, helping me, sending me to different events, etc. They are really a big part of why I'm here today. So I just want to give my huge thanks to them for supporting me for such a long time. It's an amazing team. And yeah, the reason why I'm just checking things is because I want to see what the different teams can offer, and that includes GL, of course. So it's going to be a really tough decision. I've received a few offers, but only time will tell. I can't really say anything.
Final question then. Who are you going to meet in the finals? Obviously, you're going to be there. Who would you say is the biggest chance of meeting you there?
Wow, that's a really tough question. It can be anybody. I'm afraid I can't answer. The level is kind of close between a lot of the players that are here. There's no like really dominant player. So yeah, I'm expecting it to be a Korean, but it can be anyone, honestly.
All right. Obviously, the last words are yours. Anyone who you want to thank, maybe tell your fans where they can find you, where they can support you.
If you want to follow me, you can go to facebook.com/glsnute. It might change depending on the new teams and stuff, but for now I'll be on Twitter as well as glsnute. And of course, shout outs to everyone in Norway and all of my fans all across the world who's cheering for me. It really means a lot to me, so I'm really happy for that.
Always great talking to you. Very articulate, very nice person to talk to as well. And for all the people out at Karat.org, this is definitely not the last interview we're going to do, so do stay tuned for more coverage right from Home Story Cup 6.